Hello.
Hi, everyone. It's so wonderful to see your cute little faces, you guys. I love you. I love the work that we do. I love seeing you together. You're all lit up, Marshall, like the sun is shining. It's
Right on your face.
a lot of snow where we are right now, where I am
Yeah.
anyway. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are in our day 3 for our Awaken the Medicines Within speaker series. And that started through just the members of Grandmother's Voice really wanting to connect with community and sharing and just giving space for people to learn and really engage in being healthy in the mind, body, spirit. And there's just like so much depth to the work that we're doing right now. And the series is going to run right up until the middle of March. And today we have my sidekick and partner, Sherry Sayville, who's amazing with all the work that she does. If you'd like to introduce yourself and then introduce Marshall and Gabbrielle, that'd be awesome. And we can get them rolling with what they're doing.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having us and doing the speaker series as well. It's just been phenomenal to see the engagement within our community. It's been absolutely fantastic, and bringing community together, is what we do, right? Is bringing community together. So it doesn't matter if you're just down the street or in Manitoba, like our guests Gabby and Marshall. And hello, Tanse. My name is Sherry Sayville. I wish I could speak my language. I'm going to have to ask Gabby to teach me how to say my name and where my belly button is placed. And I think that's really important because, as you know, a lot of us don't have our language if we never lived in our community. So I'm so thrilled and honored to introduce Gabby and Marshall. You've been with us now for quite a few months and doing wonderful work with us, and just really enjoying our company that we're having together, and enjoying the conversations that we're having. And again, we're so thrilled that we have such great partnerships with We Matter. So I just want to really, thank you for being here. Thank you for being in our broadcast studio. And Gabby and Marshall, would you like to introduce yourselves? And thanks again for joining us.
Thank you, Sherry. Tadsay, Kapiana said Mikaso. Hello, my relatives. My name is Marshall Morris. So I'm an Indigenous, Cree, and as well as Métis. I live here in Brandon, Manitoba, where I grew up, and I'm attending university. A undergraduate degree of a Bachelor of Arts. I'm from the Opasswa Cree Nation, so that's a northern community here, so Musaga Cree Nation. And I'm here with my lovely partner, Gabbrielle. I'm to be here with her, and excited to show you what we have to say on We Matter and the amazing things that goes on there.
Tansay Natisnigasin, Niwaya Itinisquil, Wapsco, Musquesco, Gabbrielle Don Jumonville. Hi, my name is Gabbrielle Don Jumonville. I'm so excited to be here. I go to university alongside Marshall, so we are definitely busy with school, and I am majoring in Native Studies and minoring in sociology, and I'm almost done, so yes, we're super excited, and we're going to share this We Matter presentation with y'all today, and yeah, like it's going to be bomb, so please keep your eyes present. Okay, don't want that. All right.
So we're
just going to screen.
You guys
please.
go ahead and you guys go ahead and share, and I'm going to see. We'll get your PowerPoint up there, and then it seems like your connection is a little shoddy right now, so you might have to turn off your actual camera on you. But let's get your stream going into the presentation. You guys are so amazing. I love you.
Thanks, Jody. We love you too. Yep. Here we go.
Seems to be taking a bit of time to load. Patience is a virtue. I know I've been working on my patience these days.
Yeah, patience is one thing, isn't it? And really exploring it. When I do become impatient, I'm kind of wondering, like, why am I impatient? Why isn't this working? So I think we're doing an awful lot of reflection right now during this time as well.
Oh, looks like they disconnected. Probably some issues there. Well, Sherry, you and I can talk a little bit about We Matter. I'm going to read from this. Sherry and I actually, Sherry knew about We Matter, but I found out about We Matter when we went to Wabano a few years ago, and we saw the co-founder that was talking about the program that her and her brother started, and it was amazing. I was so touched by the work that this young family does. And so what We Matter is an Indigenous-led nonprofit committed to Indigenous youth empowerment, hope, and life promotion. Our mission is to communicate to Indigenous youth that they matter, and to provide resources to encourage and support those going through hard time while fostering unity and resiliency. Our key project is the We Matter campaign, and that's a national multimedia campaign gathering positive messages from people across the country. If you've never seen it, you just have to go visit their website. It is so amazing. They have videos where people are just popping on and just telling each other, just to stay strong. And the messages are just so empowering. And again, like I said, it's a brother and sister. I'm going to show those pictures. That's who they are. Lovely. And they, the work that they're doing is awesome. They have kits for different, like the youth, for the toolkit for Indigenous youth. Then they also have toolkit for support workers and a toolkit for teachers. And this kind of stuff is really important for sharing this information. And so, Sherry, I don't know if you want to just take it on something for a minute, because Gabby's texting me.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. And you can go, like Jody said, you can go to We Matter's website and order those resources for your classroom, for teachers, and even for professional healthcare workers or mental health care workers. Now, we have an awful lot of resources that is shared. And we're so thrilled that we have two of the very best that we know of that that does this work, aside from the founders of We Matter. And just go to the website wematter.org and see what it's all about. Review the videos, see the videos. You'll probably recognize some people that are in there. And yeah, we're just thrilled that we're able to do this, and we're able to host these conversations, because during this time it's very, very difficult for people to get together. And so what better way of trying to come together is online. And this is why we created the speaker series, not only to create that sense of community, but also to create that sense of coming together. We need each other. We need each other to have these conversations. They still continue going. And what better way to come into the 21st century or the 22nd century with our elders and our knowledge holders that are trained to do some of this work. And we're so pleased and proud of all of our grandmas and grandpas and aunties and uncles who've never had that opportunity before to be able to be in this form, in this virtual world. And they've really attached onto the learning curve was a learning curve, but now we're getting some of our grandmothers and aunties and uncles on, and they're just absolutely wonderful. So I see that they have their screen up. So
yep, they're ready.
We're ready.
All right. Yeah, you guys can maybe try to enter the room again, and Sherry and I will leave, and everyone can watch you. Take it away.
Okay.
what they mean by enter the room. So can you guys see the PowerPoints?
No, we can't.
Can you guys hear us all right?
I can hear you, but we can see like what I'm not, it says you're in the show. It's on the back. There you go. There's your PowerPoint. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready then. We're good.
Okay. Yep, there you go. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We will get right to it. So this.
Sorry, I was just gonna say you guys can be in the room if you want. You can try to let yourselves
back in. We don't know how
in.
to do that, Jody.
Okay.
We don't know how to do
ahead.
that. Okay. All right. Sorry about it. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We're just gonna get right into it. So this is We Matter, and we are both ambassadors of youth, and we joined in 2019. And yeah, what else?
So this is our presentation that we, as Ambassadors of Hope, can deliver to communities. And we're just gonna go ahead and get this started. So we'd like to talk about our stories because we know that our stories have significance. We know that our stories and our journeys shape who we are as resilient individuals. And we like to take a moment to talk about like the positives that, you know, that have kind of made who we are today. And some of the positives that like I like to highlight for myself was becoming a We Matter Ambassador of Hope in 2019 with Gabbrielle. That was an amazing opportunity that that I was grateful for. I was able to connect with Indigenous youth from across Canada at the Hope Forum. I met amazing individuals, and it's been honestly a learning experience as well as a healing experience for myself. And this opportunity gives me the chance to, you know, spread hope and give youth messages of hope, culture, and strength. And it also gives me the opportunity, furthermore, to, you know, engage with youth from different areas in my community as well as across Canada. And another great positive experience for me was this actually led into the opportunity for me to attend the United Nations 63rd Commission on Drug and Narcotics in Vienna. I actually was sent as a youth delegate for Canada to attend the youth initiative there in Vienna, where I met amazing individuals, youth just like-minded like me, to strategize and come together and just share ideas in regards to drug prevention. And now we're still communicating with all each other and the youth initiative to help, you know, develop these strategies and deliver them to our communities and bring them back. And another amazing positive in my life is meeting Gabbrielle. And like I said, we're almost at our 2-year anniversary, so it's almost been 3 years. And ever since then, I can honestly and truly say that everything in my life has become much more positive. And I'm just truly grateful for her relationship with me and all her support.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, I'm super grateful for us too. So I guess I'll start off by saying my story. As you can see, I play basketball. I've been playing basketball since I was a little girl, since I was 8 years old, and that has been one of my passions. As soon as I found it, I actually felt like I had no belonging growing up, and my mom just decided to like, oh, you're tall, so maybe you should play some basketball. So that's what happened when I was 8 years old, and my mom was my coach, and we lost probably like every single game. But anyways, besides the fact, my dream was to go NCAA D1 basketball, and it didn't happen right away. Out of high school, I went to New York to play at a junior college for 2 years and made some amazing friends and experience of a lifetime. I moved to New York, and I'm from like the poor side of Edmonton, the north side. And, you know, I just never felt like I belonged anywhere, and basketball really helped me felt like I belonged. And so I decided to give it all I got, and I went to Mississippi the next year to play Division I basketball at the highest level that you can go in university. And it was like a dream come true, and that was a huge highlight in my life. And it didn't ended up working out the next year, and I went to Brandon, Manitoba, where I met Marshall, and it was just super amazing after that. And here is my regalia. I've been dancing fancy since I was a little girl. That shawl, actually, I've had since when I was a little girl. It was gifted to me by this amazing dance coach, Amanda Woodward. She taught me how to dance, and that was actually my first love before basketball. It was when I was a little girl that I actually got teachings on how to dance powwow and what to do. And I actually danced with her. My first big performance when I was a little girl, when I was probably like 9 or 10, and we danced at these Esquoyo Awards. And it was just so liberating and amazing to feel like a princess. And I know we get a lot of mixed information about, you know, Indigenous princess, but that's not even about it. It was like when I put on that regalia, it just made me feel a part of culture. And it made me feel so amazing in my life. And I never thought I'd be, as you see this picture, I'm teaching a little girl to dance, and I never thought I'd be right there teaching and doing that. It's really liberating for me. And here is the picture of me and Marshall. Our relationship has been super tough, but the positive is we're two Indigenous people, and we are living our dream right now. And it doesn't get any better than that. And we're definitely breaking cycles all the time, and that's the positive. And I'm just so excited to see what is in store for us, because we have so much dreams ahead of us, and we're just so excited. So we're going to go to the next slide.
And so We Matter recognizes as well that we also, as well as positives, we have hardships that kind of shape who we are. The challenging and tough moments in our lives that may have made us feel like there was no other way out, or that seemed like we couldn't overcome it, whatever it was. For me personally, the hardship was, the picture there is when I was 18 years old. I was very out of touch with myself. I had no relationship with myself or even my culture. I was going down a very dark path. I was engaging in very negative behaviors, toxic behaviors. And like I said, I was just going down the wrong path. And I was 18 years old when this picture was taken, and it was a very hard time in my life. And that's when I began to really struggle with depression, anxiety, mental health issues like that. It kind of led to me contemplating, ending my life by, contemplating suicidal ideations. I felt like I had hit rock bottom and that there was no other way out. And it wasn't until I began to really, look inside me and, discover that, there is greatness within me, and I needed to lean on things that I had not leaned on before. And that for me was my culture, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Okay, this is me in about 2019, 18. So as you can see here, smiles can be disguises sometimes. This picture is actually after a serious breakdown that I actually had, because I decided to hang my shoes up for a couple of years because I needed a break to work on my mental health. And because I was going through depression, I was drinking lots, just not doing the right things that like basketball taught me. And it was really, 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 really hard that year. You cannot see the bruises that my sweater is covering because I've had a serious breakdown, because I didn't want to be on Mother Earth anymore. And it was really, really, really hard. I just ended up cutting my hair to my braid in my culture, and it was the toughest thing I've ever had to do in my life. That year, when I took a year off basketball, I actually lost my grandmother, Ruth Pankhurst. We miscarried, and a day after my birthday, we lost Jessica Stewart. That's my nephew's mother, and all in 1 year. So it was really, really tough. It was just really tough to, be in that place. And I fought so hard for myself to get out of there. I fought so hard. It's been 3 years since that year, and I fought so hard to, if I didn't have the supportive people around me, Marshall, his family, my family, my dad, my mom, Marshall's siblings, their parents, Marshall, I don't even know if I would have made it. I'm even the We Matter team at times, like they've really helped me. Chelsea, Linnea, like so amazing in helping us tell our story. I actually never felt like I had a voice when I played basketball. I never spoke because my body spoke for me. So now we're gonna go to the next slide. So this is the We Matter campaign. It was originally started by 2 individuals that brought us together and a whole bunch of awesome youth together. And they created messages in videos. And the videos are 3 minutes. And these are politicians. These are climate activists. These are comedians, athletes, elders, youth that are on here to give a 3-minute message to you, for us, Indigenous youth, to uplift us, to
help us just in those times where we feel like where we feel down, and we need to hear those, those words of affirmation, someone telling us, hey, it's okay right now, or I'm going through what you're going through, or hey, like here's my here's my advice on it. And that's really what the We Matter campaign is all about. It's about gathering these voices and these messages from across Canada from Indigenous peoples for Indigenous youth, that are facing these struggles, these everyday struggles that, Indigenous youth face. So really, it's a campaign that's it's Indigenous-led, which is really awesome, and it's for Indigenous youth, which is even more awesome.
And literally, we were brought together with other ambassadors to keep on continuing this message. Our job is life promotion and uplifting Indigenous youth. So we have a pretty amazing job, and we're super stoked. So we're gonna go to the next slide, and we're gonna show you a video of one of our friends that we met. Her name is Jaylene Buggins, and she is super amazing. And this is just an example of what a video would look like. And I hope this message really touches you because it's just so amazing. Yes, we're just loading the video. Here we go. Just 1 second, we're almost there. It's just taking a few moments. Technology can be so much, but I think we got it. It is at a black screen. Please be patient with us. Technology is super, super awesome sometimes.
is all new for everyone, Gabby and Marshall. So
Okay. Okay, awesome. Okay, we're ready, we think.
The thing about the
Hi,
internet is
my name's Jaylene DeLorme Buckins. I'm 24 years old, Yellowknife Dene First Nations. I currently live in Hay River, Northwest Territories. I am the NWT representative for Native.
Okay.
Jody, could you hear that audio?
we could hear the audio. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name's Jaylene DeLorme Buckins. I'm 24 years old, Yellowknife Dene First Nations. I currently live in Hay River, Northwest Territories. I am the NWT youth representative for Native Women's Association of the NWT. I am also the national youth representative for Native Women's Association of Canada. My message is that you don't have to be anybody to be somebody. I come from a background of addictions and struggles and hard times. I'm the child of a residential school survivor. I've suffered intergenerational trauma. I've been through many different types of abuse, from sexual abuse to emotional abuse to physical abuse to abusing myself. Growing up hasn't been easy, and changing my life definitely hasn't been easy. But I've done it. I fought, and I pulled myself out, and I got myself to where I am today. Nobody fought my battle for me. I've had supports. They've been there. They haven't been there. I've burnt bridges by going back to the same lifestyle. But in the end, I turned my life around. On March 9th, 2016, I lost my sister, Tony Lynn Buggins-Godin, to a crystal meth overdose. She left behind 5 children, 2 of which I'm helping raise at the moment. And it's been the hardest year and a half of my life. The kids have pushed me to want to better myself for them, to further my education, to make sure I make it somewhere. You know, they were kind of my reason. But now, as where I am today, I am my reason for change. I want to make it somewhere. I want to matter. I want to be somebody. So I'm pushing. And I'm pushing past all those mountains that are so hard to climb. I'm climbing them, and I'm doing it because I believe in me. And I matter, and you matter, and you're going to make it somewhere someday. And I know you can do it because we matter.
Great. So that's just an example of the videos that are on We Matter and what they're all about. They're just short videos that really anyone can film on their phones, and they can be sent to the We Matter website, where we can upload and have they're available for everyone to view. So we're gonna, we're at the beginning, it's no worries. Okay, so We Matter is a tool and a resource for you. So here are all the handles for the social media platforms that We Matter is on. We Matter is very active on all of these platforms. You can find them. They're always sharing videos, messages of hope, culture, and strength. And of course, the website's there where you can go find the videos and the messages of hope.
And those videos, there'll be a search bar. We're actually going to show you a couple more videos, so that will be coming up shortly. So these are where you can search We Matter's name. So it's We Matter Campaign for Facebook. For Instagram, it's We Matter org. For Twitter, at We Matter org. For the website, it's wemattercampaign.org. So if you guys need, sorry, not you guys, you folks, you need any resources or cards, we definitely have that. Or if you would love for us to come book in your community, we definitely have that too. and it's just an amazing tool. So we also have toolkits too, so they're super amazing and super helpful. We have an Indigenous toolkit, educators and facilitator toolkit, and we have a youth worker and counseling and social worker toolkit. So they're just amazing resources that we get to both use, and we also get to share those resources with you. So we're super excited about that.
We got another video just to kind of show what we're talking about. But we're going to show another video. Oh, just give us a second, folks.
The magic buttons.
I was just going to.
And the track called red.
So we're going to show a video called The Magic Buttons, and that's just a cool resource on the website that kind of tailors this search for individuals that might have situations or crisis that they are facing. So you can go on the website and actually search by your region, by your nation. So for me, I could search urban or Métis, and maybe I'm feeling a little bit down, so I can actually tag it on depression or loneliness and get messages that are just tailored for me in my situation, so they can feel more personal and direct.
And also a super cool thing is that if you are from a community up north, or say you don't have really good internet, you can actually message us. Jody has all our information, or you can message the wematter.org website, and you just message them telling them your situation, and they'll be able to send you a personal USB stick if that is the case for you. So they're always looking to support us and support you, and that is the ultimate goal. So we're just like so excited about just sharing this love with you guys, because that's what we really need. We need this love, we need this strength to be put in our medicine, and our medicine is ourselves at times. So this is just super amazing. I'm just hoping and just getting goosebumps that you're taking all and soaking all this in, because we definitely did when we were first presented to. So it's just super amazing. So we're just waiting for the video to load. So just 1 minute. Okay.
What if every time that you were hungry, there was a magic button you could push and a sandwich would come out? Wouldn't that be great?
Now, what if every time you were feeling sad, there was a magic button you could push and you would feel better? Wouldn't that be great?
At We Matter, we believe there are buttons that exist that can help you if you're feeling sad or hurt. There's things you can do, like go for a walk, drawing, or sports.
Okay, we're just restarting, and it should work now.
What if every time that you were hungry, there was a button you could push and a sandwich would come out? Wouldn't that be great?
Now, what if every time you were feeling sad, there was a magic button you could push and you would feel better? Wouldn't that be great?
At We Matter, we believe there are buttons that exist that can help you if you're feeling sad or hurt. There's little things you can do, like go for a walk, drawing, or sports.
We created our website WeMatterCampaign.org to be full of magic buttons just for you to click to help you feel better, even if it's just a little.
Let's say you're experiencing bullying. If you go to our videos webpage, there's a bunch of tags, different words you can click on. You can find bullying, click it, and you'll get We Matter messages from people talking about it. We'll share love and support. You guys are beautiful.
You can click and you can hear people talk about those issues, sharing love and support.
If you're from Nunavut, Ontario, or any other places, you can click on those areas to hear messages from people who are close to you.
Or you can click buttons like artist, athlete, suicide,
Coping, youth, LGBTQ, and so much more. Hearing messages that are important to you.
If you are feeling hurt right now, we have a Get Help section on our website where you can find information on what to do if you're feeling suicidal or down, how to reach out for support. There are phone numbers and helplines you can call anytime if you need someone to talk to, even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
There's a map. So you click on your province or region to find out who you can reach out to. But it is always okay to ask for help. Sometimes it might take a couple tries to get what you need.
When you're feeling hurt, it might be the smallest things that help most, like reaching out for help, talking to someone about it, or doing something nice to yourself.
When we're feeling down, we actually use the We Matter messages to help cheer us up. You can use them too.
If your friend is feeling down, you can talk to them. Send them some things that helped you out, or share a video with them.
All of these messages can be used to start conversations on hope and healing in your community.
You can also create your own We Matter message if you feel like your website is missing something.
Please share this video. Let everybody out there know it's available.
We can help ourselves and others going through a hard time. We believe in you.
We believe in you. Press Joe.
Mercy, Joe.
So that was actually, yeah, the two co-creators of We Matter, Tansha and Calvin. And they're super awesome people.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but that video gets me every single time. It's just like so amazing. I just love watching that video.
We couldn't hear too much, but we could read what was there. And oh, can you guys hear me?
Okay.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. I'm glad that you were able to read it.
Yeah, and I think that we'll just, share some more information for people to go check it out.
Sounds good.
So this next session, I would like to do a little trigger warning just for folks. We're going to be talking about the residential school era and its impacts on our families and our communities across the nation.
So this is my cookum. Well, I should say nukum, because nukum means my grandmother. I-N and nukum, so the N in nukum means my. So nukum, Shirley Shirt Thomas. She was from residential school. She lived in residential school. She was taken from her family when she was a young girl. And yeah, and fun fact, she always tells me this story actually, is when she was in residential school, she was pregnant with my mom at the age of 15 due to many abuses, sexually, physically, and was pregnant with my mother, Sherry Jubenville. And she was 15 years old, and she was playing in a basketball game in Musqueam Residential School. The original name of the residential school is Hobima Residential School, but that was the Western way of saying it, and they got their original name Musqueam back to their reservation, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, she was pregnant with my mom at 15 years old, and she was playing in a basketball game, full pregnant. There's actually a picture of it, and she won a championship 15 years old, pregnant with my mother. And just the resilience in that is just seriously exhilarating. Like, I am from tough lineage that, you know, sometimes I feel down that I don't know my language. Sometimes I feel down because everything was taken away from us. Sometimes I feel down because I'm baptized or I'm Catholic. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm a half-breed, you know, because of this. I'm white and I'm Native, and I suffer from that. And I suffer from intergenerational trauma, from lateral violence. And sometimes we have to look at the positives. I'm in school. I'm going to play basketball. I have nieces and nephews who want to be like me. And just like from my cook and fighting, for us, for our family, is just like seriously amazing. And the reason why we're here is because she fought so hard, and she still suffers from lateral violence. She still suffers from intergenerational traumas, from triggers, and our family still suffers from residential school, but we are still here. We are still fighting. We are still here. So I don't want to get too carried away, but this picture is my grandma's 68th birthday, and that's my mom beside her, the darkest Indian of them all. I shouldn't say that, but she's so dark. She actually just came back from Mexico, but she is really dark. And then there's my sister Paige, and there's my godson Dustin, and that is 4 generations right there, and we're still standing.
So we like to also talk about the historic trauma that's been left because of residential school in that era. So when we talk about the scars and the intergenerational trauma, a cycle that was created was don't talk, don't trust, don't feel. And what that really is that it's when our grandparents and parents went off to these institutions, they were shamed for who they were. They were taught not to express their language or their culture, and they were punished for it. And it created a very vicious cycle of this, not talking to our loved ones in a good way, or not being able to trust those around us, and not feeling our emotions and what we feel inside. That picture in the middle there was actually my grandfather, who attended a residential school growing up. And from what I understand from my parents' upbringing, is that he struggled with his own emotions and expressing those in a healthy manner, and that caused a lot of traumas for my parents and my uncles and aunties, and so on. So we like to talk about that cycle, and how can we overcome this cycle. And We Matter also really wants to emphasize that just although this residential school era has created these cycles of intergenerational trauma, which is harming our youth in negative ways. You could be a youth out there that is experiencing, abuse from a family member that is caught in this awful cycle created from this. And We Matter wants to emphasize to the youth that it's not your fault, and all these problems and these issues, and it's not your fault. And that is a very key and strong message we want to tell our youth, that just that even though despite all these awful things that occurred to our family members and our relatives and our ancestors, it is not your fault, and that you are great, and that you matter, and that there's a way forward, and We Matter is going to be here for you, can be here for you, to support your way forward, to support your healing, to support your belonging, that you are important, and that you can overcome these cycles and you can break them. You can be a cycle breaker. It is possible. Even though it is hard, it is going to be hard, that there are people and organizations that are out there for you. And that's what Me Matter is.
So now we're going to talk about hope and culture and strength. So one of the things that hope brings to me in my life is playing basketball, is going to culture, is being able to learn from my cookum, being able to sit with her and for her to pass down her teachings onto me. That is hope. That is culture. That is strength. And to be a part of this organization, to have a magic button for you to press when you're down, gives you hope, gives you culture, gives you strength. There is messages of hope. There is messages of culture. There is messages of strength. So it is just so exhilarating at this, even when we're in this pandemic, when we're suffering from being home, from being away from our loved ones, from ceremony, from things we can't do, but there is things we can do. Ceremony is smudging. Ceremony is dancing pow in your living room by yourself. Ceremony is going for a walk, going by the water. Ceremony is not always gathering. Sometimes ceremony is within self. Ceremony is practicing on your drum. Ceremony is praying with your bundles. Ceremony is exercising because you are depressed and all you can do is get on your bike and exercise. That is ceremony. That is culture. That is strength. Our teachings, I shouldn't say everyone's teachings can just bring you, they're so universal. And that is the best thing about We Matter, is we get to tell our stories the way we want to. And We Matter lets us create that creative strength that is within us. They bring it outside of us. And they just want to spread that hope that is within all of us. We want to give the matches to light your fire when it is not lit. That is giving you hope. Culture is, there's just so many aspects of it. We're so shy because of the residential school era still. We're living through intergenerational trauma now that is from residential school that is now passed on to the 7th generation, which is us, which is you. You can be the 7th generation. You are probably the 8th or 9th or 10th, and you are still thriving in your culture. You are still, there are still elders out there rich in language. There is so much. You just have to find it within yourself. Sometimes it's just going for a walk. Sometimes it's just smudging with your pen. Sometimes it's holding a cigarette in your hand and saying a prayer. Sometimes if you don't have nothing, culture is there with you. Your ancestors are there with you now. And strength is finding that strength to love yourself, finding that strength to find that self-love that is burning inside you, finding that strength to go write that paper, finding that strength to go finish your degree, finding that strength to go finish grade 12, finding that strength to be the first person to finish all your schooling in your family first. That is strength. And there's just so many different types of strength. Strength is getting through school and you're having a hard time. That is strength.
I think it's very important to also acknowledge that what Gabbrielle had said about culture was that you are never away or without it. You are never without Creator. Creator is always with you, even in your darkest moments, even if you're struggling with addictions or mental health issues, even if you're not able to, because we know that there are some communities out there that have lost their languages and their community and their ceremonies and traditions. You know, I grew up living that reality, but just know that you are never without Creator. Creator is always there with you. and it's always there guiding you. So we're going to show a video again. So this is just another video message for one of our, this is like a organization favorite video. It's just about whole culture and strength. So just give us a second, folks. Yes. So Jack Jr.'s video has just been it's an all-time favorite with many folks at We Matter organization. And yeah, we're just gonna get this.
It literally gave us goosebumps, like when we first saw it. It was like we couldn't even believe it. The co-creators who actually filmed him, just super amazing. We just hope you hear this message. We just want you to hear it so bad.
But if not, then always, go on the website and search Jack Jr. I believe his is still on the homepage, actually. So hopefully this works. If not, definitely.
What, Jay? Hello, my name is Jack Jr. I live in Wapskin, Ontario. I'm Cree and proud to be. I live along the James Bay shorelines, the lowlands, and the Muskegee territory. My message to you: you have a hard time. Look to the trees, as it shows you to stand tall and proud. Look to the rock, as it shows you the strength you need. Look to the river, as it shows you to keep moving forward in life, as it flows, and to never give up. To the flowers, as it shows you the love you need, the colors, the grass, as it teaches you forgiveness, as it always grows and grows no matter if you keep stepping on it. It's there to show you to forgive. We matter. Every living thing matters. The trees, the rocks, flowers. You matter. Stay strong.
Awesome. Well, I hope y'all folks were able to hear that. I know I needed that.
Same. That was like super amazing. Oh my gosh.
All right, so we'll get back to the slides now. Just give us a moment here. Okay.
So we are at almost the end of our presentation, and we would love to share this mantra that We Matter has given to all of you beautiful souls that are watching. So just repeat after us. So we're going to do this 3 times. So we'll do it the first time, and then we'll hopefully that you're kind of murmuring what we're doing, and then we'll do it a second time. And then hopefully you guys all got it on the 3rd time. So here we go. I matter, you matter, we matter. Okay, first time, Payak. Now second time, Niso. I matter, you matter, we matter. Okay, Nisto, 3rd time. Let's go. I matter, you matter, we matter. Hashtag stronger together, what's good. So we hopefully you guys got that, and we're going on to our last slide. So
so this is actually a cool little initiative We Matter has created for youth. So basically what it is the We Matter Hope Pact is something that youth can pledge to, and it's if any folks watching or if any youth watching are interested, then definitely I'm going to leave some contact information in the chat or even with Jody for you to reach out and to take part in the Hope Pact. What the Hope Pact is basically, if you do pledge, you sign a form, and we're going to send you some hope bracelets that We Matter has. I'll turn the video on and show you afterwards. But basically, you're pledging to, one, believe that no matter how hard life gets, there is always a way forward.
2, ask for help when I need it.
3, honor the strengths within me.
4, you will show support and kindness to those around you. And you are pledging to all these 4 things, and you will have a bracelet, and that bracelet, every time you look at it, is a hope pact. So you are in a pact with millions of other Indigenous youth that all have this bracelet, including us, including all the We Matter gang that are a part of this. And Jody has our information that she'll be able to give out to you for this We Matter presentation, and hopefully get some youth, us, or other ambassadors to come support you and your community during these tough times.
Okay, so thank you, everyone. Like Gabbrielle had mentioned earlier, We Matter is a campaign that is across Canada. So if you're watching from any region, whether it be on the East Coast, the West Coast, Central, even Northern, we have ambassadors that are in your region. They can deliver presentations, come to your community, facilitate workshops, do all sorts of activities for your community and for your youth. As well as Gabbrielle and I, we're available to engage. So just provide, and just know that We Matter is a campaign that's here for you, for Indigenous youth, and we're so grateful for the time and the space you shared with us, and thank you for listening.
You guys are amazing. And when I saw Jack Jr.'s picture, I just got chills. He's one of those youth that walked 1,800 kilometers in the winter time to talk and bring awareness to Indigenous youth, the Innu up north, for suicide. And our good old Prime Minister at that time, Stephen Harper, ended up going to visit the pandas in Winnipeg or Calgary instead of greeting those youth in Ottawa, which was absolutely shameful. That never, ever has there ever been another time in our history that youth have walked that far. And that is a huge accomplishment for those youth, as well as the leader that walked with them, 7 of them. And the strength of hope, the agility, the resilience, and the absolutely love that people had for them when they were billeted in different homes. So when I saw that, I had chills. I cried because I remembered those youth. I remembered how much they endured, and very few journalists actually picked up those stories. And that should have been a documentary of the youth that had gone there, right? And then of course we know some of the sad stories that happened along the way. And of course one of their leaders, he guided them all the way there, and then had some problems of his own as well. And he's no longer with us. But yet he led those youth 1,800 kilometers down from the north.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to send me those articles. Like, just the way you spoke, I got chills all over my body. Like, I read those articles. Like, I would have choked up right now. Like, if I was on camera, like, I would have.
I'm just getting chills just sitting here, Gabby, like talking about it and being there. And my good friend Andre Casabon, who has her own company, really wanted to be there. But it was a matter of like, I know it's challenging. I get it. But man, oh man, it was just, 1,600 kilometers that they trekked in the wintertime, right? Talk about strength and resilience. This is way, way, way more than our explorers that explored Canada, right? When our youth can do that, they are the seers. They are the people that put their foot forward, and the ones that that are there for the coming faces. And when I saw Jack Jr., I was kind of like, oh my gosh, like we need to award them something.
I know. Oh my gosh. I'm just like getting goosebumps. I don't even know what to say. I'm just like I'm just like so happy that like I'm part Native. Oh my
know,
God.
right?
I got me. Even though I'm European. Oh my gosh.
That's
But
pride.
it is. It's absolutely
That's pride.
amazing, you know, and what an embarrassment for our country that our prime minister went to go and visit a panda instead of greeting those youth. They did have a big greeting in Ottawa at Parliament Hill. But you know, he was nowhere to be found. And hopefully this prime minister, he does say that Indigenous people are the most important people or most important relationship. Let's see. Let's get him on here and have a conversation with him and what he's doing during Bell Talks. You know, Bell, let's talk, right? You know, and it's just one of those things. It's the youth that is leading the way. The youth is leading the way. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
And it's amazing because I'm you know, both Sherry and I get to watch and see what people are saying, and we're all very, you know, just like a lot of love sending to you guys and how strong your voices are, and confident in love for your culture, love for, you know, your family, your ancestors, and just, you know, and knowing that you work and represent an organization like this that just is like, we're here to support you, we'll be here when you're ready, we're available for all of that is so important. And I know that when we first met We Matter, and it was like, this is what we need to do, this is our responsibility, and as a grandmother say, our instructions to share this information and to make sure that everyone knows that we're here to support them in any way. And now that we virtually can reach out to people, it's amazing. And so, you know, just acknowledging that all of our members of Grandmother's Voice in the community and what we're trying to create is just organically happening, because all of these walks and all of these things they happen. We just don't know about them. And it's time that our community like this coming together and talking about these stories and telling people that we actually do this work, you know, and it's not work. This is just community commitment to building and bringing and unifying Indigenous people, because this is how we want to live. This is how we want to spend our time, is really moving forward and sharing and telling people that it's okay to feel all this and acknowledge it.
Oh my gosh, I like 100% agree. It's definitely been a hard journey to like get to where we are as comfortable to tell our stories, and it is extremely hard. I just like, for example, like just being in Native Studies courses, it should be taught in all elementary systems, all junior high, all middle school, all high school. Like it needs to be taught, because we're going into university not knowing much about, you know, Indigenous people, and we're having mental issues, like dealing with mental health issues during that time, being taught that, and we have no support because we live that life. We live this life, you know, we live intergenerational trauma. So the only people who are learning about Indigenous people is Indigenous people. We know, like, you know what, like it's enough. Like it needs to be taught. They need to recognize us. It's just like enough. It's just enough.
One thing that I share too, and this is completely my perspective, but when I share this with my family members and relatives and friends that are not Indigenous, and they just want to understand, you know, why it's their responsibility or why do we need to know this, I really look at it in society and say that you're paying attention to this now because it's actually affecting your families now, right? Because they were a part of it. They were there. They watched it happen. They saw it happen. They maybe didn't acknowledge it, which is why we're dealing with all this equity and diversity stuff around the world right now, is that we just ignored it. We ignored all of the things that were happening. But now it's really starting to affect just the regular everyday people. And, you know, I say regular everyday people, I mean, community. society, white people, black people, any color. It's now, I feel like it's seeped into our society what happened to our Indigenous people. And now people are waking up to say, how do we stop this? And Sherry and I say this a lot when we're talking and sharing information. It starts with learning from the very beginning, because until you learn the history of how this all began in our nation, you don't know where you fit in that timeline. You know, you need to understand the timeline and where it all happened. So we can always talk for hours.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I know.
Right?
I definitely had to just light some smudge because like I was getting like really radical. Like I had to take a deep breath. I have to do that.
But Gabby and Marshall, those conversations are so important that we do need to be teaching this in elementary and secondary and university. And everybody needs to learn these stories and our truth, right? Because for far too long, we've known the colonizers' history, right? But what about our story? What about our families? What about the withholding of food, of women now having to go and give their bodies so that they would be able to have food? And this is coming from way back signing the treaties that people don't really realize, right? And it's of course, age appropriate. We're not going to be turning around and talking about certain things to an elementary student. But trust me when I say that elementary kids know what's right and what's wrong. They know what's wrong to take something away from them. You can start it off like that, having a discussion. How do you feel when something is taken from you that you really love? And, you know, we're not going to talk about our kids, but we can certainly talk about maybe a teddy bear, and making it age appropriate in that sense, right? But, you know, when we're in the school board that we represent, you know, we are in trying to embed it in every single area, right from K to 12, and then make our English course, the English course, Indigenous literature course, a mandatory course that everybody has to take, that Indigenous literature course. And that is a prerequisite for English to get into post-secondary school. Now we know that in post-secondary, I started learning all this stuff when I went to post-secondary, right? And trust me about being radical. You know, like I was pretty upset about these things that I never learned. And we took our voice to the streets, and had placards and demanded that Indian Affairs treat us differently. And that now that there's a whole group of us, and you're amongst us, that are becoming educated, that know their rights, that want other people to know what their rights are and where, and to learn, and to get the community to come along with you and to have those conversations. Sometimes it's going to get you really, really angry, because Justice St. Clair said the same thing, right? When you're hearing the truth, it's going to make you angry. And he said something else, but it's going to make you angry. But then over time, you'll learn a little bit more, and it's kind of like, wow, I had no idea that the country that I love so dearly has done this to a group of people. And it's not only Indigenous folk. We can go through the history again, right? But Indigenous folk, we're rights holders on this land. This land belonged to us. And we only agreed to give the land to the depth of the plow, not the resources, and not the natural resources. And so these are the things that we're trying to teach our students in our system. But, you know, Nagan Sinclair said it perfectly. If you're not getting at university if you're not getting these courses in university, how are you going to make those changes when you do become the doctor or the optometrist or the dentist, right, in your community? How are you going to be able to see that? All you have to do is just look in the mouths of some of our Indigenous communities up north, and to see the healthiness of that community, right? You know, we're having such problems when we're trying to access non-health insured benefits. Why do we have to do that? When everybody that's a doctor, an optometrist, or a dentist, or a pharmacist should know all these things that we do not. It's part of our treaty right. That's that whole piece of the medicine chest, right? That and the school. We were supposed to have a school on every single community, not a residential school. So thank you. Like I can get on my you know, I can kind of go on my little, you know, rant and rave as well. But it's just having youth like you and Marshall, you know, to really step up and say, you know, this is the life that we live. This is the life that my mom and my aunties and my grandmas lived. And these are the lives that we live. right? And so it is traumatizing as well when somebody keeps on asking you to, well, Gabby, can you talk about Cree Treaty or whatever, like not the Cree Treaty, but like, can you talk about your Cree people
I
and
totally
let me know?
understand.
Like, it gets exhausting.
I totally understand. I definitely have experience of like, why do I have to like teach this? And I've actually set in boundaries more so with my family than other in this family. I don't like, sometimes when people come up to me, I'm actually pretty lucky that I don't get to hold on a lot to that anger because I do live a really, really good life. My mom like really changed her life around. Like, my siblings were really unlucky with like the way my mom was when they were raising them because they suffered a lot of abuses, and it pains me to say that because I just wish that I can just give them all the tools, because I'm being taught all these tools that I can help my family with. Not like helping other people, but it's just like I have the tools to help my family to, be there and support them. And they can watch this video right now so they can actually see this. Because like this is so true. Like they have the power within all themselves. My mother, my siblings, my nieces, my nephews, my cookum, my, like all our ancestors are around us and they're to us. And I hope that they watch me and they watch this positive side, because this is what really matters. And like it doesn't matter if sometimes we drink alcohol, it doesn't matter sometimes we're addicts, and there's a reason behind it. There is a deeper meaning, and it's for non-Indigenous folks to get educated on this and stop stigmatizing our mental health, our addictions. And it's just, yeah, I'm gonna stop right there because I'll go on forever. Like Marshall, completely.
Like the important thing is that like we matter is that support, along your journey and for your healing, because we all need that support. We all need someone that's in our corner and someone that's telling us good job, or hey, it's tough right now, but it's it's gonna get better. And that's what we matter is, at the end of the day, it's just messages of hope. And that's what I feel like is lacking in a lot of our communities, is that we don't have these strong voices that are that are us, that we like growing up. Myself, my own personal experience, I didn't have other Indigenous youth or mentors, or those that were giving me messages of hope, culture, and strength. That just wasn't the thing, but now it is. Now we have the capability of highlighting all these amazing voices and just bringing them closer to those that really need it. And at the end of the day, that's what we need. We need people to hear and listen to what we have to say, but we also need people to tell us that, hey, like you're doing all right, it's okay. You matter. So it's just really awesome.
We love having you guys here. You matter to us, man. We have like some people have reached out to us every time you guys have been on, and some of the messages here you guys can go back and see in the platform, and we're just really blessed. And we're in a time of action, and from the journeys that I've been on and the elders that have shared with me is, we are in a time of prophetic time. Prophecies are showing up, right? So it's amazing. It's amazing to have you guys with us, and you're so lovely to look at and listen to.
Oh my gosh, I drew just looking at the videos. The comments, we didn't even know they were there. They look so amazing. It just makes us feel so supported. But yes, it definitely, affirmations do help, because I know I get carried away, but we definitely balance each other out.
That's what it's all about. I have my balances over here somewhere too, and there she is. We are very different, but we're the same. Yeah, and it's really important. It's very important. So wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you guys so much. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Marshall.
I just wanted to say, Gabby and I are also on social media, and we're very we're very active. You know, we got TikTok too, and we like to share our stories and like our lives, because we know that like as an Indigenous couple that we are breaking cycles, and we're very proud of that. And you know, I love her and she loves me, and you know, it's something that we wish that all Indigenous youth can experience, as well as
Oh my
Indigenous
gosh,
peoples.
I tell him that all the time. I always tell him that. It's just like, it's so surreal. Like, I just wish I can repeat it in people's heads that, like, you can have this. You can have what we have. You can have all this beautiful stuff. And it's just like, it's so real. Like, you don't, it's like, it gets me emotional because it's like, you can have this. You just have to work hard, and that's okay. And this is what We Matter is here for, because when we're down, we need people to pick us up. So, and those videos are there, and like, that's why social media is so amazing. Like, we got to stop looking at it as a negative way, because there is ways to navigate around that. And
yeah, let it work for you, and use it in a good way, because it will work for you and it will, you know, benefit you. So thank you, Jody, for having us. Oh my gosh, we
love
we
this.
just love coming on here, and this is awesome.
What is it? What is it about this platform? My cheeks hurt. My heart's full. All right. We'll be in touch with you guys soon. And thank you so much for your time. Nyawangoa. Much love to you.
Thank you.